hear this, you are not alone. This is the resistance.
Unless you're going to break into Buckingham Palace and sit down and have tea with the Queen, you're not going to get any closer to her attention than if you can get the Governor General's ear. Okay?
True that.
So at this point, I'm walking around and I'm trying to get to see some prominent people. Now it's hard because the way that the Coliseum is designed, as soon as you walk in the front doors, the right-hand side has the ice rink where the Wildcats play, which is the local hockey team. And then on the left side is where they do a lot of car shows and various stuff on that side. So they put all the dignitaries, all the politicians, the family, all of the RCMP officers in the hockey arena, and they put all the civilians where the car show would be. And they had big screens and big speakers. It did it justice. It was good. It served its purpose.
Okay.
And by simply doing that, they didn't have to do any civilian pat-down checks upon entering. They didn't have to infringe on anybody's civil liberties to attend to this funeral. Nobody had to get pat down. There was no metal detectors, nothing like that. There was security. I think I seen with the naked eye all of 18 armed officers. Now everybody's saying there was thousands of police officers in there. Yes, of course there was. You don't tend to figure out that there was thousands of unarmed police officers in there. At that point, there was a bunch of citizens wearing uniforms in respect. They weren't there to pick up a gun and hurt anybody.
Yeah, they were there for the funeral.
Right.
Okay, the respect.
So on my way there, I saw fighter jets in the sky. I saw a really awesome, large military plane of sorts that I couldn't identify from the ground. It was quite big and it was high up. The police choppers were in the air. So we had our airspace locked down. Because let's not mince words. If anything would have happened to the Coliseum during that event, Canada would have been left with very limited, if any, leadership. So there was the whole thing happened under threat of attack as well. Because the guy said there was going to be a big finale. Okay, so this whole thing happened under threat of possible future violence. So that kind of resonated with me. I was like, all right, you guys didn't bitch out. You guys actually came to my city. I'm going to come and try and see you. So that's what led me to go. I want to see how close I can get. I'm an activist. I'm a standard guy. I'm no better than the person that's next to me. Let's see if I can do this. So I go. And I see all of this and all the security and all that. And there wasn't a whole lot of security. For as locked down as it was, it had a very free feel to it, which was very impressive. I was impressed with how the security handled itself. So I can't lie about that. When the truth is the truth and things went right, things just went right. You can't start lying about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the security was impeccable. The way they split us up made it very good so that we didn't have to, and I could sit there and argue and say, well, no, why wasn't I allowed to go sit with, all the other people, I could scream that. But what we would have had to sacrifice to do that would have really upset a lot of Canadians. So they picked the lesser of the two evils, and nobody really complained, and I'm not going to be the first one to get out there and do it. So after that, I'm sitting there, but I'm realizing I want to do this with the naked eye. I want to see the casket myself. I want to give them a final farewell myself. And everybody asks me, well, why are you going to do that, man? Why does Professor X play chess with Magneto? Why are they friends and yet enemies? You see what I'm saying?
It's a good comparison.
That's why. That was if you needed a very simple way of deciding what reason was that I was doing things, there it is. I have to be as close as I can get to get the truth. It's not an idiot move. So at this point I'm like, okay, well I want to send them off myself, and I found a little room off to the side that had a window. And this is where this whole story begins, is this window.
Okay.
So I go to the window, and I see the caskets, and they're getting into the hearse, and I realize I'm probably not supposed to be in this room. But no, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right here, and I'm going to do the final farewell. There's nothing more insulting than that at that point, in my opinion, to go out and do something and then just turn around and decide, no, I don't want to do it anymore, regardless of whether or not I was at risk for arrest. So I found the room. I made an ass of myself because once it was all done, one of the guys came over and saw me there, And I was there with a small group of people, and he's like, oh, you guys aren't supposed to be here. And we're like, we don't want to cause any problems. We're just going to stay here. Can you tell us when it's safe for us to leave? See, the citizens cooperated. You know, it's a funeral. There's certain things you just don't do at a funeral. You know what I mean? So we cooperated. And the guy said, no problem. I'll let you know when the coast is clear to leave. So the gentleman comes down and says, okay, the coast is clear. He was wrong. There was a miscommunication between him and his other guy. So when we come out, we ran right into the grieving family by accident.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And their security personnel looked at us and they're like, who are you? What are you doing? How did you get here? Because they had already swept all the rest of the citizens out. We were the last of the citizens. They didn't know where we were. At this point, I'm thinking on my feet. I'm like, I found a secret room. I could see the caskets. I wanted to give the final farewell. I probably wasn't supposed to be there. I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't even tell you that I was there, but I was there, and I really didn't want to hurt anybody. I'm just here to see the caskets. All right, sir. Let's go back to the secret room and wait until we come and tell you to leave. No problem, because I'm not there to get into the family's hair. That's not my mandate. That is not my job.
No.
So I turned around and I went back to the secret room. The guy comes rushing to the secret room. If you guys want to go, you got to go now, and the coast is clear, and you have to go through that door. All right, no problem, sir. Thank you very much. Poof, away we went. Well, I walked out the door. I realized, I take a look around. There's about 20,000 freaking RCMP and various police detachments from the entire continent. And I say the entire continent because I had police officers from Maine, Border Control, as far as Pennsylvania State. Like, you guys showed up here.
Holy shit.
That's what I mean. We have video footage of the parade and some really close-up stuff and pictures like nobody would believe that we were able to get into and interact with. The media, we got stuff that the media couldn't even touch, couldn't get.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah, because, where we were, the one thing I refused to do was, with a final farewell, they were trying to put the caskets into the hearse without any media publicity and things like that. And I found a bird's eye view, and I had my phone and a camera. I could have videotaped the whole thing. I just found it disrespectful. They're still dead people. You know what I mean? And that was the one thing the family was trying to keep private for themselves. Everybody is entitled to their privacy when they lost a loved one. And we don't have to become ignorant activists to agree with this. Or, you know what I mean? So,
well, I do hope you did.
Footage on that.
Well, hold on. I do hope you did get some exclusive footage.
Oh yeah, I did. That's what we're going through. Because of where we went, we ended up seeing a bunch of people, and we got known by security. But we were known as benign. We were not there to cause harm. They knew it right away. Because when we were released out the back door, I looked up. I was like, I'm in a restricted area. Okay, time to find the fence and go on the other side before something really bad happens, because you have to realize there's a lot of prominent people. They're looking for people like me.
Yeah.
To do something stupid. So I couldn't give them an inch. You give these people an inch, they'll take a mile, and they will hang you with it.
Exactly.
And so I found the perimeter. I crossed back onto the civilian side. Well, because of the way where we came out, we started noticing the media tents were getting filled up. So the first person I see, I walk up, bam, there's the leader of the NDP, Thomas Moncler, getting ready to do an interview. So at this point, I have to, because the only message that I always portray to our politicians is that I represent the standard, regular Joe citizen.
Yeah.
The people that they can't make it out because they have a job, can't make it out because they're taking kids, can't make it out because they can't afford to make it here. Any number of reasons why this regular guy can't make it. Joe the plumber's not there, don't worry, John Connor went. That's the ideology behind it. So I looked at the leader of the NDP, and all I said, because again, it's a funeral, but what's important is that I was able to get in to these people.
Okay.
So I looked at him and I said, Mr. Moncler, may I have a moment with you? Looked at me and says, yes, sir. And he comes right down the hill. Now remember, these are people that are supposed to be untouchable. They're supposed to be people that run away from you. So, as I said, the truth is still just the truth. So he's sitting there, and I'm talking to him, and I tell him, I said, I just want to take a time so that me as a regular guy, no media, no nothing, just telling you that I'm happy that you took the time to come down here.